Hi, I'm Jackie Chang with the Product Partnerships team with Facebook, and I'm here today with Sasha Aiken, CTO of Redfin. Thank you for taking to come over here. First off, today we're gonna be talking about sharing, which is great. We actually have Sasha's company, Redfin, big partner of ours, launch partner for the mobile message dialogue. Before we jump into any of that, though, would you mind telling everybody just a little bit about Redfin?
Of course not. So yeah, I'm CTO at Redfin, and our mission is to change the game in real estate in the consumer's favor.
Yeah.
So what that means is we do real estate differently than it's traditionally been done. Not only do we have a website, an award-winning website and apps where you can find your dream home, but we also are a real estate brokerage. So we have agents in 23 markets in the US.
Wow.
And unlike traditional agents, we don't pay them on commission. They're paid a salary with benefits, and then the bonus is based on customer service. So we feel like we're the only place where you can sort of start with digital searches, trying to find an interesting home, and then we also take you through to touring the home, to actually going in, to writing the offer, all the way to the moment you get your keys. And we're just trying to sort of change the way real estate is done.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of it seems very centered around the customer. And for the customer experience, I mean, how do they think about sharing when they're using Redfin?
Yeah, it's a good question. We're not like a BuzzFeed where it's all about viral content.
Yeah.
So sharing has been a little bit different for us than I think with some other partners that Facebook has.
I mean, you probably don't want people to have the competitive edge if you're trying
to
look at a home, right?
Yeah, I know you're looking for a home, and that's one thing that people are really getting concerned about. But some people are really comfortable sharing with all of their Facebook friends,
that's
everybody they've ever met at any party, and say, hey, I'm looking for this home, I'm looking for that home. But for other people, it can be really there's some sensitive pieces. If you share a listing that's for sale, there's the address, the neighborhood, the price point, and some people think that they don't want everybody they've ever met to know that things. But buying a home is the largest purchase usually that people make, and so they need support during that process, and they usually look to people like, of course, their spouse or partner, their family, especially parents, we find, siblings, best friends, and they want to be able to share with that group of sort of trusted advisors really easily. And so that's what I've been really excited about with our integration with Facebook Messenger, as opposed to our previous Facebook integration where you just by default shared with everybody you knew. You can now, with just a couple taps from Redfin, share a home you're thinking about. You see a home, you're like, oh, I think this is kind of cool, and you want to send it quickly to maybe your mom, your dad, your spouse, and say, hey, what do you guys think about this one? And you can go directly to Facebook Messenger and then directly back to Redfin.
Yeah, and how do you think about the experience for the people receiving that message? I mean, does it end up opening up more opportunities to have that conversation where it might be a little bit tougher on kind of that broad stage of
Absolutely.
posting?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not just the saying, hey, I'm thinking about this home. It's the, some of the feedback people are going to get back is really positive. Hey, I love that. It's the most beautiful house ever. Some of it's going to be kind of negative. Sometimes say, hey, I really don't like that kitchen. I don't think this is the right home for us. And both of those are things that people may not want to say in a more public space. And as you said, there's a sort of unique competitive dynamic. Whereas with other sorts of e-commerce places, if I post something, a T-shirt or something I'm interested in, I'm not worried that somebody else is going to buy that T-shirt and I won't be able to buy the T-shirt, right? But with homes, there's really just one. And so some people get really worried that if they post things really publicly, they're going to get more people interested in the house and either make it so that they can't get the house at all or that they drive the price up.
That's really interesting. And I know we were talking before this that it sounded like you guys did a study where people as much as you would imagine it being a private experience, people still take to the fact of just sharing that broadly. Is there any way to kind of talk through that study?
Yeah, so we asked about 450 users on Redfin how they share content, how they share homes for sale. So I think there's a couple ways to think about the results we saw. One is that the majority don't share on social networks. So about 80% of people said, I've never shared a home on a social network at all. And when we asked why, some said it just didn't occur to them. The majority said it's because they didn't want it to be super public. They wanted to tell their family and their close friends, but they didn't want to tell everybody. And I think that's where Facebook's Messenger really helps us because we want to make it about user choice. For folks who are comfortable sharing with everyone, great, you have that option. But for people who want to just share with trusted advisors, you're going to have that option too. On the other side, people who did share, about 20% of people had shared a home on a social network.
Oh, wow.
Vast majority, it actually surprised me. It was a little high, I thought. Vast majority did so on Facebook. It was by far the most preferred. Over 90% of people said that Facebook was their preferred network for that.
Oh, awesome.
Wow. So congratulations.
Thank you. I can't accept that. But
fair enough. And you know, about 45% of the people who had shared homes said they did so to get their friends and family feedback. You know, to get the other people to say, "Hey, I love it. I don't love it. This is gonna be great for barbecues." You know, whatever they're gonna say about the house.
That's great. Well, just shifting gears a little bit, because I know we talked about the sharing experience. You are also launch partners with us with AppLinks and applinks.org. Thank you so much.
So excited.
I'd love to kind of, get your perspective on that and why you guys decided to integrate with that.
Sure. So AppLinks, I think it's really exciting. It's been, I think, a real problem for mobile platforms for several years now that you sort of are building two different experiences. You're building a mobile web experience as an app developer, but you're also building your app experience. And most of the time, I think you want, at least where I'm coming from, I think other people might feel differently. Most of the time, you want your users to go to the mobile app experience. It's usually the smoother, better, I think more considered, just better experience. And up till now, there hasn't really been a great way to say, hey, this page on the web here corresponds to this screen in my mobile app. And so when we think about it, when Facebook came to us and told us about AppLinks, we said, yes, that's exactly what we want. We want to be able to say that if somebody has our app and is already logged in, when they tap on, and then let's say you shared a home with me, let's say I'm one of your trusted advisors, and I tapped on that home, I want it to open up in the app. So I'm already logged in. It's the environment that really shows off Redfin's content the best, frankly, and is probably already logged in and has context for the user. But there was no real good way to do that. And so I was just, when y'all told us about that, I was just really excited that it was going to be a standard, and not just for Facebook, that other apps could use it. So, other sorts of apps. I think Mailbox was announced today. Is that right?
Definitely. Yeah, and Quip. I was telling you a little earlier, I use it to collaborate with my fiance. So, it's a great way to be able to get quickly to Redfin. And I actually think this is also a great way to complement the mobile messenger integration for people to be able to go directly to the house that they're trying to talk about, trying to get feedback around.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love it would be amazing to see the AppLinks standard be really widely deployed. I think especially in mail clients, because we see a lot of email sharing. A lot of people, you and your fiance, I think a little more advanced, you use Quip. A lot of people use email to send houses back and forth, and then they pull it up on their email client on their phone, and they tap, and it goes usually to mobile web. And I would really rather it open directly in app as often as possible and be a really seamless experience. So I'm really excited, and it was a total no-brainer to join in on it.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for speaking to not only mobile messenger and AppLink as well, but it's great to have you here. We're really excited to work with you guys and integrate further and help bring house buying experience to users and make it a lot easier for them. So thank you so much.
We're excited too.
Yeah,
thank you so much, Jackie.
Yeah. Awesome.